Now, welcome to the edition of Revealing God. I'm your host, Brother Victor. Today, we're talking about overcoming temptation. Temptation is something that has troubled many people, of course, many people derailed from destiny because it's just one tool the devil uses. And now, if you want to define what temptation is basically the devil trying to test if he can, get you to sin, so that he can have advantage over you. That's basically my own definition. So, how does the devil tempt you? It comes in three ways. The Bible clearly says that it comes to the lust of the flesh, it comes to the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. So that the three ways the devil tempts people has caused men to fall. That's the way he attacked Eve, and Eve fell. The Bible says she saw the fruit that was good, something that she didn't see was good, and desired that fruit to make her wise. That is the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life to be taking place just in that sin. So we see that is the trick of the devil. But now, how do you overcome temptation? Because remember, we are faced with it every day, and as long as you have a flesh, you will face temptation, and that is why we must know how to overcome it. Because we know certainly from the book of James, temptation to sin is not from God; it's always from the devil. That's what we know. But how do you overcome it? Because the flesh is weak. The Bible says, "But the spirit is willing." So your spirit is willing to do good, but you find out you still keep stumbling. Remember, you said you stopped that sin, but you fell back to that sin again because your flesh is weak. But how do you overcome it? And you say you're a Christian, but you have that weakness. You can't overcome it because there's no Christian that cannot overcome sin. Once you're born again, you have the power to overcome sin because sin is from the devil. Now, how do you overcome sin? Number one is to know the truth. The Bible says you know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Once you know what to do, you have more than 50% have assurance to overcome the devil. But that is not enough. Another way, because many times the devil would be very tricky and cause, bring subtle tricks and attacks against you. That's why Jesus said in the Lord's Prayer, he said, we will pray this prayer that leading us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. That means the devil set traps to ensure that you easily fall inside it and you make that mistake and you regret it later. So you have to pray that God ensures that he helps you avoid those mistakes. That's why the Bible says to pray. So one key to avoid temptation is not just reading the Bible, which is good, it's strengthening your spirit, but is to pray. In fact, prayer is one of the major keys that Jesus gave to overcoming temptation. He said, watch and pray that you don't fall into temptation, but your spirit is, your spirit is strong, but it is willing, but your flesh is weak. So how do you now, overcome temptation? The third thing is to build in your spirit man. Building your spirit man to prayer. I remember when Jesus was praying, he was about to face his greatest trial, going to the cross. The Bible said when he prayed, he got strengthened by an angel coming from heaven to where he can go through the cross. His will was not to go through it, but his will was to, avoid it. But he said, not thy will, but your will be done. So that God will not allow you to go through a temptation that he has not strengthened you to go. The Bible says there's no temptation God will allow you to go through except it is something that you are able to bear, and in a way, you still make a way out. That's what the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 10, verse 13. So we have to see that overcoming temptation is possible, but you must pray. And the best way to pray, if I always tell Christians, is to pray in tongues. The more you pray in tongues, the more your spirit is strengthened, and the presence of God will remove the deposits and the tools of the devil that will make you susceptible to those weaknesses, because the devil doesn't play fair. He's going to make sure you have his tools, his deposits in you. You're going to drop thoughts in your mind. But how you get your spirit strengthened is to stay in the presence of God through prayer. So prayer is not just asking for things, because many of us pray and we ask for things. Prayer is also to build your spirit man, building yourself in your most holy faith, praying the Holy Spirit. So praying in tongues is one of the powerful way you can charge up your spirit and overcome temptation. So the more, and the time Jesus gave this, he can pray at least for an hour. I was telling his disciples that. So pray for at least for an hour in tongues is one powerful way to make sure you are charging your spirit man to overcome temptation. But the more you do it, the more you feel that inner strength to say no to sin. So you try it. I've tried it many times, and you see that it strengthens you to overcome sin, and you feel that power of God to say no to sin. So that's what I will tell you right now. But if you're not born again, it doesn't. This won't work for you. You need to give your life to Christ. So give your life to Christ today by sending a prayer on the screen. And if you already given your life to Christ, tell someone about Jesus Christ. So I hope to see you again. God bless you. Thank you for your time.